everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Queued Up. Today we have some exciting action for you. We're looking at the Blast Stage 1 event, the major that's going on in Austin, Texas. It's been heating up. Last weekend we saw some League of Legends matches, and this upcoming weekend we got some more playoff matches for you. And will FlyQuest be the best team in LTA North? We're going to find out here today. And last, Valorant Masters Toronto is incoming. The Swiss stage is this weekend. Who do you have in your Pickems? Do you like the trophy? Do you like the animations? Find out here with us today, where the lobby is open, the mics are hot, and nobody is dodging. With me today, Michael Tumbleweed Kepley, Davis Tadlock, Nick Thug Nasty Lavid, and I'm your host, CJ Pathfinder Collins. We've got some exciting segments for you today. We're going to start with the feed. We're going to go to Clutch or Kick. We're going to do a pick ban, and then we're doing Pickems. So we get to see all the things, and we're talking about all the news in esports today. But let's get it going. We're going to jump right over to Kepley, and we're looking right at the feed, and he's going to show us his favorite social media posts over this week, and we're going to talk about it. So, Kepley, go ahead. Introduce
First
your
things
topic
first, Witcher 4, baby, getting shown off at the Unreal Fest. We get the full first, new look of it, right? This new Unreal Engine 5, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Fully responsive world, new animations. Let's show this little clip right here that we pulled just from this 9-minute video, but you guys should definitely go check this out if you like games that look beautiful. Someone talked about this recently in a Clutch or Kick, that graphics don't matter. This is why graphics matter right here.
Dude, this looks like the Nintendo Switch 2 graphics right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Coming out, right?
Yeah, straight, fresh off of that. But this is actually all rendered on a base PS5.
Really?
Not even a PS5 Pro. So this is just your normal PS5 from Sony. So a lot of people probably don't have a Pro, but they put a lot of work into systems. Like, I never personally cared about all the muscles and textures in horses, but what they're showing here is how they've completely went and revamped how horses run to define their muscles, their fibers, etc. Probably pulling it from some science tech books. I don't know. I failed that class.
So this is one of those games that also became a show.
Yep.
And so it's got some cross-pollination. It's got a little bit of, people know what it is. You know, do you think that this is a game that you're going to invest an entire, session into and completing?
Oh,
absolutely. Or
absolutely.
are you just are you gonna dabble in the water a little bit?
Oh, I'm gonna definitely play this game. Witcher 1, 2, and 3, phenomenal games. They did kind of drop the ball. CD Projekt Red with Cyberpunk initially, but now Cyberpunk is fantastic. So I think they're gonna learn from those mistakes, and Witcher 4 is gonna be a fantastic playthrough.
What about you, Davis? Are you gonna play it?
No, I probably won't play it, but I do think it looks pretty good.
I'm with Davis. I'm not gonna play it. Looks cool though.
I'm more watching that video for Unreal Engine 5.4.2.
We got some Call of Duty and some Halo boys in the chat.
It's not my
That's
style.
all we got here.
It's not my style.
Is this story
I
normally
think it
good? Like
looks
the
sick.
cinematics and the story? You're on the edge
If you
of your seat kind of
if
thing?
you like a good story game, like Witcher is a good series.
Is it? Yeah. Cool. Well, check it out. Looks like it's going to be very pretty, if nothing else. Okay, next, Nick, show us what you got, buddy. What are we talking about?
Fortnite has introduced more AI into its game. You know, they had the Darth Vader AI about a month ago, but now you're going to be able to go into the game and create your own AI model within a matter of seconds that can follow you around and talk with you and hang out and play the game with you. That is insane to me.
Are we?
No, we're not there.
I want to get this because I hate Fortnite. Lowest number of players right now. Terrible game. What is this?
Did I get 10 points for pick ban yet?
You minus 10 points for picking Fortnite.
I banned it last week.
I guess this is cool. I don't know. I don't see the hype around it though.
I don't really see the hype around it either. I mean, I think it's cool from a sense of
It's fun.
getting kids introduced to AI, I guess, right? Because that is kind of the future, and you're going to teach them how to interact with it, and that's going to be important as they grow up. And a lot of kids do play Fortnite, so I could see some value in it. But as far as just being in a game, it's it's pretty niche to me. I'm just in there to slay out. I'm not going to sit and talk to my AI agent.
Well, the main reason for the tweet was because when they were unveiling Unreal Engine 5.4.2, they talked about The Witcher 4, and they talked about that you could do this in the Unreal Engine. So
Is it Pi Day?
if you're cool with this, you're cool with
5.4.2. I should have been.
Should have read the patch.
Yeah. Clearly, it shows.
Interesting.
I think it's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool. I do think there are some cool things within this. I am a hater of Fortnite, yes, but I do think the AI stuff integration is good for the kids. We should do that.
Fortnite drives the future for a lot of video games. So I mean,
Roblox.
Yeah, I don't know.
Roblox.
I do think anything Fortnite does, I think they set the standard. I still don't think that live events have been beaten by them. And having AI like this, I wouldn't be surprised to see Call of Duty or someone try to rip this off in the future.
We'll see. I don't know. Davis, what you got, buddy?
jumping over to Nintendo. So it is actually the launch day for the Nintendo Switch today. So happy launch day, everybody. And there has been absolute chaos in Tokyo. We had over 2.2 million people that entered in the sales lottery. Only a few of those lucky ones were able to get their hands on the actual product. But analysts warning that it could be weeks or months before it's back on shelves. And I'm actually really excited for the Switch 2. I think it looks dope. I think the improvements that they're making to it are really cool, and I'm excited for it. We'll see when I get my hands on it, though.
Yeah, I was one, at least on the U.S. side, that put my name for the pre-order and didn't get selected, so I'm sitting here empty-handed right now. But as soon as I get that email, I'm ordering that thing.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Switch too. It doesn't feel like a big generational bump though. Like it doesn't feel like it's a vast improvement. So there are some criticisms there,
Okay.
right? Like you have faster load times for Smash, you have faster load times for Pokemon, but like the difference behind the scenes is literally just like a switch that they're turning on, like a key, they're flipping a light switch basically, setting a flag in order to enable those frame rates. But it felt like the Switch 2 should have been more, right, for what it is, for $650, more of an improvement. It feels less like a PS5 to PS5 Pro jump. It feels like somewhere in the middle there. But I am still excited for it, nonetheless. Like, I'm going to buy one probably. Mario Kart World looks phenomenal. I've been watching that. But my two didn't get the email. My brother did, though. Yeah. Jerk.
He has one right now?
Yeah, he's playing Mario Kart right now.
Nice.
Yeah.
I think one of the things that should have came with this is like a list of like new games to like play and like some kind of new IP or whatever.
Yeah,
with
that's
it. Like it just,
yeah.
it just like, and to your point where it's just like it feels like the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And clearly, it doesn't really matter. That worked because it's sold out, right? But it's a little disappointing from like a gamer perspective that you didn't get kind of fresh stuff with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I would have loved to see like the brand new Pokemon game to come with it. Like they have like the remasters, Z to A or whatever. But I would just love to see like new universe, this is your launch title. Maybe here's like a new Mario Sunshine or something like that.
Yeah.
Some big title.
New Zelda,
yeah.
like even like if it's an old IP that's a new game, it seems like it would make sense.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, if you have a Nintendo Switch, you can go sell it on the black market for $2,000. So feel free.
That's true.
Whoa, the black market. Whoa.
Okay,
Keep it legal.
I'll jump into mine. Mine's on Splitgate 2. New game, teleporty. I played Splitgate 1 quite a bit. I played some ranked. It was a great time. Sniper felt good. All these pieces, the game is exciting and fast, and I think the new age of gaming where it's very quick and you see the teleporter come around, you show up behind somebody, you give them the melee. I think those things are cool. But I don't know. What do you guys think of this game? Do you think this is a cool game? Have you tried it? What is it? What are your vibes on it?
Huge Splitgate 2 fan. Only have been able to play a couple games since the beta came out, but other than that, love everything about it. Wish the original had a better player population, so we're hoping they fix that and the players stick around to make this the next competitive title.
I really don't know how I feel about it yet. I think it looks like I was actually a big fan of Splitgate 1 when it came out. I think the concept's really cool, but I don't think it was done very well with 1, so I'm hoping this one's done better. Yeah, I don't really have enough info to really form an opinion on it yet, but I mean, I hope it's good. I think the concept's really cool.
The dude the creator of it, he was a Portal guy, and he liked Halo, and he's like, why can't we do Halo with Portals? Like, that's kind of his backstory. And he's kind of a bro. I think if you listen to his podcast, you would like him. But it was interesting because he talked a lot about the player-based problem and the fact that they had to infuse bots within the lobbies and they had to give players wins. So if you don't give players wins in a game almost instantly and you don't give them players to play against in a fast queue time, they just disappear from the face of the earth. And so it was interesting for him to kind of dive into that. Obviously we know that Call of Duty has this. A lot of these games, when they first come out, have this issue of like players, and so how do you get the player base into a good spot to where you can insta queue and have a good experience every time? But it was interesting to watch him go through that and how they're kind of navigating those problems for sure. But it's a cool game. It's fun. Kep, thoughts?
Well, I don't really like it.
Hey, you're allowed to not like it. That's fine.
I mean, I think it's too niche of a market. I mean, like, it's cool, right? It's combined. I love Portal, and I do enjoy Halo as much as I rag on it.
Sure.
But this game, I feel like this game should have been introduced in a better way, in the sense that it shouldn't be multiplayer driven, because the skill ceiling is going to be so high that you're going to come in, you're going to play like a Nick or an Eli or someone, you're going to immediately leave, because like, how are you ever going to learn to move through portals and keep that momentum and do that type of aim? It's the same way as like I wasn't a big Call of Duty jetpack guy. Right, it's just out of my skill gap, so it partially turned me off of the game. I feel like if you would have done this game in a single-player way and then later added in multiplayer, Like Splitgate 1 would have been a whole single-player story. You get introduced to the idea of Portal moving and shooting and all that. Like, you build a whole thematic around that. And then Splitgate 2 is, hey, now we have multiplayer. Come do those same mechanics you got to learn on your own. I think it would have been a lot more successful. But I think it'll be too niche. I think it'll have great highlights. Probably like a really small niche esport, and you'll get a lot of cool highlight reels, a lot of hype moments, but I don't think it's going to last.
We'll see. Nobody knows. Okay, cool. Going next, Davis. Up to you, bud.
Yeah, so my second one, we're going over to Spirit. We're going to talk about their academy because recently their CEO came out and talked about their academy budget for the year, and this is across all of their teams. So they actually do have 4 competing academy teams right now with a total budget of around $500,000. And a lot of people, so the minimal salary of the kids is $300. This is 2 kids that are younger than 16 years old, so 14 to 16. And so I wanted to talk about it because I think it's a really cool thing, and I think it's very, like, I saw a lot of people in the comments and stuff talking about how this isn't enough money and how this isn't a lot for the kids, and I do understand that, like $300 or however, I think it's either weekly or monthly, something like that. It's not a lot of money, but also, I mean, I think it's super comparable to a lot of traditional regular sports models. Like when you look at soccer and you look at academies or in European Premier League soccer, the kids there earn anywhere from $300 to $1,500 on their salary, the same way as an esports kid is making $300. So I don't think it's really that much discrepancy between the two, and I think that is a great thing, the fact that they are able to actually make money on a salary instead of just winning tournaments and stuff like that. So I wanted to talk about it because I think it's really cool, and I think it's cool how they're actually being up front and showing you, hey, this is how we're supporting our team and this is what we're doing.
That should have been your clutch or kick because I stand behind this wholeheartedly that that they have $500,000 annual budget for their academy team is amazing, and I'm going to look straight at the camera. If you're being paid to play video games, any dollar amount is a good dollar amount, plain and simple.
Yeah, I think, I mean, the other thing about this is the fact that it is $500,000 across everything. So I'm certain tournament entries are there. We're talking hotels. There's going to be meal stuff in there. And so, like, ultimately, they're just creating an environment where you have low expenses because you're going to be playing Counter-Strike a bunch. And you have $300 for, like, living, right? There's your $300 to live. But everything else that you're doing from a day-to-day basis is covered, right? And that, and I think you can also have another job while trying to do this stuff. I don't think it's unrealistic to have a job where you're working, I don't know, call it 12 hours a week to add an additional income to your life and also play Counter-Strike competitively. I think that's a fair statement. So I think this is great. I don't have any issues with it. The age range makes sense. It's not like we're trying to give people a lucrative career where they're able to buy a Lamborghini and play Counter-Strike. This is like the entry of trying to figure it out kind of thing.
And I actually have one more thing to say. I have it written down, and that's exactly what the CEO came out and said. He was like, we're trying to enable these kids with a platform. We're not trying to get them in a point where they think that they're already professionals and already are worth this stuff. We are just trying to be the ones that are enabling them and giving them a platform to do that.
Makes sense. Yeah,
I love it.
Love it. Cool. Okay, who's next? Nicholas. You're up there, buddy.
Envy announcing their Rainbow Six roster, qualified for the North American Championships as a challengers team, going to be going to EWC. A lot of big things on the horizon for Envy.
I have heard that Rainbow Six Siege is actually one of the best games to be in from a skin perspective. The skin sales on the back are actually really good in that game. When you sell the skins, you're able to actually recoup a lot of your expenses from playing R6. So I do think R6 is one of the better games to be in from a monetary perspective. Yeah. But we're seeing Envy everywhere.
That we are?
They're blue. They're bleeding blue everywhere.
R6 is about to update too, kind of the same thing that CS did, transitioning from Go to CS2. R6 is coming out with a new version very soon.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was a DreamHack they had where you could play a CJax, yeah. So they're doing like a whole revamp for the game series. I think this is really cool. I mean, my only problem is I'm worried that Envy will be in the spot that they were before where they overexpanded into too many esports.
They're in a lot.
Yeah, they went away for a while, and now like Astro's come back and they're going to start getting into all this stuff. But like, I mean, it's cool. They're in Halo. Now they're going to Rainbow Six. Like, they're in kind of some of their staples. I want to see how far they go. And I think as long as you avoid like really the ridiculous franchising tags in League or something like that, you probably be fine. But I think that's where a lot of it went south, is buying into those franchising tokens, Overwatch, and all that.
I apologize. I interrupted.
Oh, it's okay. You're the host. It's your show.
I think one of the things that they were successful in previously was their sponsorship model. So being able to create a winning team, use the prize pool dollars, get a sponsorship, and move forward. So they will have to win quickly.
That's what I've always liked about Envy. Is Astro is very much like the trophies do the talking. They were the team that was separate from the FaZe and Optic back then, where they said, "You guys go do content, we collect trophies."
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cool from them. So hopefully they get back to that. Halo, they came close.
We're getting there.
Yeah, you were almost there, man.
We're getting there. We're getting there.
Really, if you think about it, 1 kill away from like top 3. Yeah.
Ooh, there you go.
They'll be back.
They'll be back.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
I'm not saying in a ragging way. Like I loved it. It was 1 kill. I was in the crowd, man. I can't even. I'm blanking on the team you're facing, but I was in the crowd.
TSM.
I was calling TSM. I was like, "You sissy little." Like running away from that fight, dude. Like as soon as they took the headsets off, I made sure they heard. Like you. I can't say it on camera, but I had my words. I had my words for him. Yeah.
Kepley, give us your social media.
Oh yeah. My next one, Destiny 2, new expansion details get announced for Edge of Fate. So it's really cool. They lifted the NDA right for the first phase, so they're redoing a lot of stuff in Destiny. A little controversial on some of this stuff, right? It's either a time when a lot of people are taking the excuse to leave, or it's a time when people can look to come in fresh, right? Both are applicable, but they're doing a new armor system 3.0. They're putting in a couple new exotics. They did some, dev interviews and all this, but this was a couple creators got to fly out to go to Bungie headquarters. They got first peek at it, and they've started getting to trickle out some of the content. Bungie's done this style now recently for a few of their releases. Overall, I think it looks pretty cool. I think it encourages, it's a good time for people who haven't played in a while to come back because they're redoing everything basically from the ground up. But I'm just a big Destiny fanboy. I compete in all the day ones. I'll be competing in this day one. So we'll see how that goes. But just wanted to bring it up because I think it's cool news.
Yeah, it's interesting. Marathon fails, and then they just go back to Destiny and revamp the game, right?
This was always the plan. Different team. Okay. We have our own Destiny art thieves over here, okay? And Marathon can have theirs over there, all right? So.
Different art thieves.
Different art thieves.
Totally different.
I'm a huge Destiny fan.
Same.
I like the stuff. I like the raids. I think it's cool. So the fact that they're still updating that game is awesome. I just don't want to buy another expansion.
Yeah.
I don't like that. But I've already spent like $180 on that game, and I don't play it anymore.
I've already got my next clutcher kick.
Oh, okay.
It's already.
Clutcher kick.
Gone. No, I think this is great. I think I've actually taken some time off from Destiny myself since I guess 2 raids ago. Put it down and haven't played since. But yeah, I think this is now, like you were saying, a good time to come back and pick it back up again. I've always loved Destiny.
Are you a Destiny guy, Davis? No.
They're making it super dummy proof. So
you could do it because.
Yeah.
I
mean,
I can make it through maybe.
I mean, one of the worst parts of Destiny 2, by far, is the new player experience. Like, you come in and you are just overwhelmed.
Yeah, I have played a couple times. I've never owned it. I've played it at my friends' houses and stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they're doing a lot of cool stuff. I'm excited. They're saying this sets the way for the next 10 years. I say, just make a Destiny 3 before 10 years is up. But, they've got plans, so we'll see how they do.
We'll see. I've got the last one here. I want to talk Call of Duty. We got Miami Heretics. There was some beef between Super and the entire LA Thieves roster when Miami Heretics beat them in the winners match. Obviously, they lost against them when they bounced down to losers. So there was a little bit of back and forth. Super responded. He basically said, I didn't mean to fist bump Scraps as hard as I did and bump him in the face. There was a lot of adrenaline. I was really upset with Envoy. And I think that when he talks about challengers players, I don't really like that. But that was what I got from it. I don't know if anybody else got anything different, though.
That's what I got from it, too. And that's what I talked about last week. I think the thing is that they're being so disrespectful to challengers players, and they're fed up with it. And they beat them, and they're showing them, like, hey, we're here. So I didn't have a problem with it from the start. I just think, kind of like he mentioned, I think it was an accident. I don't think he meant to punch him in the face. He was just hyped up from what he just accomplished.
He didn't even punch him in the face, man.
Yeah.
I mean, he fist bumped him, and Scrap's got those little noodle arms, so he can't even hold the string to knock himself in the face. I mean, it's okay. It happens. Accidents happen. Scraps took it personal. I mean, if you're going to be a wuss, just be a wuss. Own it, and let the beef happen. You're going to get a storyline from it.
I sometimes do forget that these are children, and the fact that, when you're on the stage and that adrenaline is flowing, you kind of, you remove your brain from that moment, and you're just kind of acting. And so acting on adrenaline, I think both parties acted on adrenaline in that one.
I'll give you speaking of the quick, just random adrenaline, that 1 kill top 3 match against TSM, they stood up, they were barking, we were barking back at them. We literally both got off the stage, we're in the back grabbing our bags. They're like, that was amazing, man. We're just fist bumping. Immediately after the adrenaline's high, and then you just level right back out and everybody's friends again. So that might be a little bit deeper than that, but at the same point.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the LA Thieves boys took it a little personal. Like Scraps did, and that's cool, right? If you're gonna have it, I think that's all a good thing. Like if I'm him, I don't even make this video.
No.
I let this storyline keep driving because it's gonna bring more eyes here, right? Like if you want to talk behind the scenes, say, hey, my bad, I didn't mean that. Cool, do that. But let this story, let this flame ignite your viewership. That's what people want. That's what esports is missing these days. Is hot stories like this. So I kind of hate that this video's out here.
Yeah, it almost seems like a weird video too, where it's like he didn't really apologize, or he just kind of was like, "This is what happened. Thank you."
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
Sure.
Almost like he had to, maybe for sponsorship reasons.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm certain somebody at CDL said, "Hey, like you can't do
God.
this. You got to chill out," kind of thing.
The
So.
nade shot, the pointing behind the camera kind
Yeah.
of situation.
Yeah. Oh, I love that picture.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Cool. That was the feed. We're gonna go to Clutch or Kick, our favorite segment where we get to challenge each other's viewpoints. First one, Clutch or Kick, is you, Nicholas. So go ahead and give us your Clutch or Kick. Sorry.
I'm like, what's going on? Coming at me from every different direction. But no, esports need to get together and figure out how to collaborate on an all year round season in some way, shape, or form. With regular sports, and this is one of the things where I think regular sports and esports can collaborate just a little bit. When in the summertime, I know I've got baseball, then coming into the NFL season, and then when the NFL season's over, I know I've got basketball and hockey. Rinse, cycle, repeat. Currently, COD is the one that's kind of the one that's a little set in stone because they're like, a new game's going to drop in October. Then, therefore, the first event needs to be in December. Season's over in June. Theirs is already set in stone. Now, you got to get League of Legends, Valorant, and CS to get on the same page. Right now, League of Legends is going from January to November. Valorant's going from January to October. And CS is happening all year round. Those three need to get on the same page, figure it out, and shorten your seasons, and then make it year round so there's never really any off time. Burnout's going to help a lot with this. Yeah, you may have a drop in player population and viewership, but it's only going to ramp back up when the next big event's happening. It's going to help with viewership. Everything is going to be great. You're going to be able to, for Riot, if League and Valorant aren't happening at the same time, the amount of resources that you're going to be able to allocate to those events to make them so much better, I think is a great thing. Year-round esports, no more off time. Clutch it up.
I'm going ahead and clutching this. I think 100% this needs to happen. And the biggest thing for me is the viewership perspective. Like, if I'm sitting here and I really care about this game that's happening in Counter-Strike, and I also really care about this game that's happening in League of Legends, I can't watch them both at the same time and actually understand what's happening. Like, I can pull them both up, but I'm constantly looking back and forth, and I'm missing stuff that really matters. So I think that's super important for getting viewership and just building a sustainable future for that.
Me?
Yeah, you go first.
I don't know what I want.
Ooh.
You know what you want?
It depends on how I phrase it.
Yeah.
Because I know we don't have a sign for the middle, but I'm like a clutch and a kick on this, right?
Or a click.
Because I think in the future, I'm a clutch, but today I'm a kick.
Okay.
Right? Because I don't think that it makes sense for them to collaborate right now. I don't think that I don't think that like COD viewers ever care about League. I don't think that COD viewers ever care about Valorant. And even to a degree, I don't think COD viewers ever care about like Halo or like smaller ones. In the future, I think they will, and I think that's something that our platform here that we're making with Today in Esports can enable.
Yeah.
And in the future, I think that's more viable. But the way that the league's going, right, franchising in League of Legends, franchising in COD, these people want to have a lot of control. And we dial it back before franchising. League was at your DreamHacks. They were at your IEMs. You didn't have this problem because everything was there. You went to IEM, you got to see Counter-Strike, you got to see League, etc. You don't get that these days, so everyone's trying to put on stuff all the time. So I think there should be breaks. League, as an example, their leagues try the best they can to make an effort so Europe never clashes with NA games never clash with China, etc.
Yeah.
But across all the esports, that's going to be a lot to manage for the number of games that you have there. So one day I'd like to get there, so maybe I just clutch it. I think I want to clutch it for the future.
Nice.
Yeah, I think I want to clutch it for the future.
And
but
CJ's going to auto kick. Come on, just do it.
I am going to kick it, but not for the reasons you probably think. I don't think that this is a realistic claim, and so I'd probably challenge the premise of the clutch or kick itself. And my reasoning behind that is the fact that the reason that they aren't going to collaborate on seasons is because they're separate entities, right? There's Riot, there's Epic Games, there's Activision Blizzard, there's Microsoft, Bethesda. Like obviously there's layers to this thing, but ultimately one of the things that I think they all realize is that they are competing for the same market in some ways. It is the demographic that is the same that plays their games. You know, the 25 to 35-year-old male, depending on the game, or female, depending on the game, or whatever. Obviously, there's a little bit of change in that demographic. But from an esports perspective, we are all in the same demographic. And they don't want to let the other one win in the same way. They're not collaborative in nature. It is, I want them to play my game as much as possible and buy my skins. So I think it's a pipe dream to say, hey, they need to collaborate on seasons. Yeah, you probably feel that from a player's POV or a coach POV, or maybe somebody that coaches multiple roster, or even an organization. Like if I'm the Falcons, I want those things to collaborate with each other. I just don't think they're going to do that. The closest thing you're going to get to that is the Esports World Cup, which is a third party managing for those guys. But I don't think you're going to get that from the publishers themselves. And so I think it is a little bit of a pipe dream. That's why MLG died in some ways, is that when they looked at them, Halo and COD and League of Legends and Dota said, hey, we're not going to be in the same room together anymore because our game is big enough to stand alone. And then what we found on the back end is that it's not big enough to stand alone. They do not stand alone. Some of them do, but not all of them. And so the issue that you're saying is like, they need to collaborate. It's like they're not going to. Like I think it's foolish to say that they will, because I don't think they will. So that's why I'm kicking it.
The big four, and that's where it's like it's the big four need to collaborate. I'm not saying your Halos and your Rainbow Sixes and your Marvel Rivals and everybody needs to be certain standalone events, but I think, like I said, it makes sense from the viewer side, and I think it makes sense from the business side as well to have it separate, so that you're not fighting over the same people.
One more thing I wanted to say before we move on was the thing about what Kepley was saying. I think personally that it would actually help the viewership a lot if they were segmented, because me personally, like I don't have any interest in baseball like at all in like traditional sports. But like right now, I've actually watched a few baseball games because there's nothing else going on. So like if you love esports, you're gonna find esports to watch. If you love sports, you're gonna find sports to watch. So if we only have 3 months of league and this is my favorite game, well dang, there's 9 other months I gotta find stuff to watch. So maybe I will learn what Counter-Strike is. Maybe I will learn what Call of Duty is. So I think it could really help in that.
Yeah, and there's some, and again, for literally the 4 sports that I mentioned, there's overlap for those as well as there would be. And there's a reason that they're in the seasons they're in, some partially due to weather, but they've gotten to this business model because of.
Yeah, and it doesn't even have to be like a full, like, it doesn't even have to be a full-on collaboration, like super harsh. It can just be like, hey, FPS genre, like Counter-Strike, Call of Duty, Valorant, get in a room. It's like, we're going to run this quarter, you run this quarter, that quarter, and then you stagger it out, and then you're same thing with MOBA. So you kind of get the same problem, but at least you're like, League's not running all year long. Like, I get a break from League, now I can go check out this other MOBA. But no one, from a business standpoint, Caesar's right. Like, they're never going to want it.
Yeah, the NFL wins that one. The NFL says, I'm going, like, they don't change their date because of anyone else. So, like, one of them's going to win, and that's what will be what we follow off of. So, segment ran a little bit long. I do enjoy the conversation, and I dream with you, but probably not going to happen. Sorry.
One day.
One day. Davis, go ahead. Give us your clutch kick, man.
Yeah, so for my clutcher kick, we're going over to Marvel, and they have released a new, well, it hasn't released yet, but they have highlighted their new game, Marvel Token, coming out. New fighting game. It's going to be a 4v4 tag team battle, and I personally am very excited about it, which is very weird for me to say. I mean, I'm not big into fighters at all, but the main thing is how this game looks. I think it looks amazing, and I think it's perfect for Marvel. This reminds me of a modern-day comic. Like, if you watch this, I could see this happening in a comic book 30 years ago, obviously being frame by frame. But like this looks like modern 2025 comic fighting, and I think it looks perfect for Marvel. I'm really excited for it. Another thing, there's a Riot Games fighter that's being made right now. I've seen a little bit of, they've actually been getting attacked since this Marvel thing has been released. So Marvel is going to have 8 characters right now. They currently have 8 characters that are developed for release. Riot Games, their fighter has been in development for years. They only have 7 characters. So I think this is a true passion project. When I watched the video that was going on, they have Arc System Work as their developer, teaming up with Marvel. It seems like this group is truly passionate about making this a really, really good product, and they really don't care about how sustainable it is as an esport or anything. They just want to make a cool Marvel fighting game. So I think it's dope. I think it's a big-time clutch.
Anybody want to go?
Well, his banner says that it's better than.
Yeah, what's the
great.
Yeah, sorry.
I
forgot to say that. I think this is going to be a much bigger hit than Marvel Rivals, because I think people want to see the characters fighting each other. They don't want to see just Overwatch gameplay with Marvel characters. They care about what these characters do and how they can fight.
Hell yeah, Davis. You never let me down. I love it. Go ahead.
This is an easy kick. I mean, like,
This is from the #1 Marvel Rivals hater.
yeah, like this isn't even close. Like Marvel Rivals, yeah, I give it a lot of criticism, but the game, first off, just base player value, right? You get your 6v6, right? So you have 6 people on each team. So if we just assume that each lobby's filled to the brim, that one's 1v1, right? You're controlling 4 people. So I think it's going to be a niche community that's made by the same developer that makes Blaze Blue, which is a fighting game, and Guilty Gear, which is a fighting game. And those even themselves, yes, they're cool. They're very niche. They don't have a big market. Marvel Rivals already blows all them out of the waters, and they're classics.
I think Marvel Rivals is only big right now because it's Marvels. And a year from now, we'll talk again. Marvel Rivals will be.
I'll give you last word, Davis. Go ahead. I know.
I'm kicking that all day. We were talking about the Riot's fighting game versus this fighting game, and it's like, well, they have one more character. It's like, well, in Marvel Rivals, I'm pretty sure they have like 28 characters, and they're coming out with a new one every single month. And Marvel has a very specific IP pool to pull from of thousands of comic book characters, and Riot's making them up as they go, literally. So that's why they have 7 versus the 8.
Yeah.
Marvel Rivals is so much better.
Yeah, I just think the FGC community is a lot smaller. They are more passionate, but I don't think from a player perspective this is going to be bigger in any capacity. I think Marvel Rivals was a little bit mainstream, but I don't think like Tim the Tatman and Nick Merckx and Nadeshot are going to jump on and play this game. Like, and that would be the only reason I'd kick it, is because I just don't think it's going to be greater than Marvel Rivals in that way. But Davis, last word. Go ahead.
I think Marvel Rivals sucks, and it would be dead in a year.
I also think Marvel Rivals sucks. I want to be clear.
The only reason people were watching Marvel Rivals is because it was a new game and it was Marvel. They don't like the Overwatch part of it.
Well, the game itself, people do like. I mean, it's just a fun game, right? It's just fun to get on and mess around. But what people don't like about Marvel Rivals now is this esports scene that's coming with it. It's literally it's copy pasting what happened with Overwatch.
Yeah.
Game comes out, it's meant to be fun. People take it, they build a competitive scene around it. Shroud's leading the way here. That scene's just kind of falling off. I just don't think that it should be competitive, but from a pure fun game perspective, it is. The problem with a fighting game, you get in that community, those only people that play fighting games are sweaty people, and they want to compete. And so they're already going to be looking, like Evo's already tweeted their eyes to that. So it's going to be at Evo, and it's going to be small in comparison to your other 2D fighters, your Street Fighter, even like your Guilty Gears, right? Guilty Gear is going to be a bigger game than this.
I don't think so.
Davis gets the last word. He says, I don't think so. I love it, Davis. Nice last word. Going to my clutch or kick next. Okay, I get it. X Defiant, it's gone. It got killed, okay? No more publishing, no more game servers online. I had a great time playing X Defiant. I think this was a great game. I think it had really fantastic game modes. I think it played really well. I think the guns felt good. I think the abilities felt good. The game fell off. It didn't make it, okay? So my clutch today is that I think X Defiant at its core is a better game than what Call of Duty is right now. And it should have been bigger than what Call of Duty is now from a gameplay perspective. Obviously, it lost that fight, right? The world did not agree with me. They don't think that it is a better game because it didn't make it. But I think it is, so that's my clutch. I think X Defiant should have destroyed, or should have been the one that take down or at least competed with COD, and it didn't. So, clutch for me. Anybody?
I'm going to kick it. Unfortunately, and the sad part is I completely agreed. Keyword agreed, past tense. At the core, though, they're the exact same game. I just think it should have beaten them. I agreed. But at this point in time, they never figured it out. They didn't know what to do, and at the core, they're the exact same game.
I think people should have given it more of a chance, but it was never going to be a better game. I mean, I'm the biggest Call of Duty hater on the planet, but at the end of the day, like, you could tell Aches was behind developing this game because his gameplay was as bad as his takes on Call of Duty. So guy clearly didn't pay attention. That's why he had like a 0.6 KD his whole career, but he's always criticizing people. But it's just more people should have been open-minded to it, but Call of Duty's such a strong fan base, you're not going to rip that fan base down.
Davis, that's your kick.
He summed it up perfectly for me at the end. I played one game of X Defiant, immediately uninstalled it. So
the servers were it was hard desync. It was
I played
online.
I played directly on launch too, and it was horrendous. Launch, so, but I knew once that happened, I can't stand which launches are bad, but I just felt like their game was so unplayable for me at the launch. I'm never coming back. Like if you launch a game to me and it's unplayable, I'm done with it. Like I will not come back to your game.
The sad part is I sunk 20 hours in that weekend, but was just trying. I was like, fight through. It'll get better. It'll get better. It's
Yeah.
this server. It's that server. I had nothing.
I put some hours in too. I mean, I don't know if they talk about it, but Dylan over on Skill Diff, he was super hyped for that game. He tried to get me into it. He got me onto it for like 2 days, and I was like, Call of Duty's better, and it takes a lot for me to say that.
They should have pulled the GTA and pushed that to launch just a little bit.
It hurts. It hurts when your friends think you're wrong.
So the sad part
I
is, it's like,
agree. I agree with that statement.
like I think we all wanted David to beat the Goliath. David just overslept.
Yeah.
Needed more rocks.
Needed more rocks.
Needed more rocks.
Okay, Kepley, give us yours,
I'm next.
buddy.
So mine is that the LTA is basically on life support right now. It is dying in viewership perspective. Monte Cristo, who former analyst over in OGN in Korea for League of Legends, a lot of controversy there. He tweeted this out that in the past 5 years, viewership's fallen by, you can see there, 63% for average, 69 for the peak, 77% decline in the viewed hours. And he attributes a lot of this to multiple things with how Riot, since franchising, have handled the LCS and how they rebranded from the LCS to the LTA North. And it was just kind of random, like, hey, we've got this established brand, let's just change it up. And we lost more viewers because people were like, what am I watching? I'm confused by this. And I just think that Riot as a whole have completely mismanaged League of Legends ever since they wanted to take control of it. I very much miss the days back when they were at IEM and DreamHack. Players got breaks. You got to see more closet picks come out. And people were looking, these pocket picks. You'd see Moscow 5. You'd see Edward pick this like a Mumu support no one ever seen of at that time. Or Froggen gets the prep as a Nivea back in the day. So my clutch here is that NA League of Legends on life support, and Riot is mismanaging their game from a competitive standpoint.
Anybody like to go first?
Let Davis go.
Davis, you go.
I clutch it. I'm in the same boat. So I watch a little. I mean, I watch League now, but I was an avid watcher of League back in the early days. It was the first game that got me introduced to really competitive gaming, and I think the old LCS was just so much more engaging, in my opinion, as a viewer. And maybe that's just something that happens when you scale and you get bigger and you become more corporate, I guess. Like, you can't be as personable with your viewers, and you can't do as many, like, one thing I used to love the All-Star Weekend back when they first implemented it. I thought that was one of the best things that they could have done, and they've taken that away. But I just think the community back then was way more engaged with versus now, and I think that's one reason you see a lot of viewers just kind of falling away from it.
I'm going to kick it, and it's kind of based on a little technicality here, but it's like I think the game, and again, without being able to prepare for the ability to clutch or kick this,
Yeah.
but it's like I don't know what the numbers are elsewhere, but I think it's the game as a whole is probably lacking in viewership. I wouldn't say it's yes, that tweet was specifically about LTA and that region specifically, but I would say it's struggling across the whole thing. This game's been out for how long? And it's like, I don't necessarily think the rebrand of the region with LCS and LTA North and South really changed it that much.
I don't agree at all on the life support thing I think we've seen, maybe this is not a fair kick in the way that, like, I think League of Legends as a whole is doing well.
Yep.
If the kick is only NA, which we could agree with NA, I think when I look at the word life support, it's like, do I think it's at a point where they don't want to do it anymore? Do I think that the competition is atrocious? No, I don't think so. Like, I think FlyQuest can get beaten by Cloud9. Like, I think Cloud9 can take down FlyQuest. Like, I think there's some folks that have a shot. I think it's competitive in nature. I think that the matches are at good times during the week. I think that's okay. And so I also wasn't around for the old school days for like whatever it was before this, but I do think it's not dead or dying. I don't think they're trying to kill it in any capacity. So yeah. I'd probably kick it because I think that, like, it's still a product that's working. It's just maybe not what it once was, kind of thing.
Well, I think they're trying to kill it. I mean, if we look at it, this playoffs, right? We've been talking about this for weeks now. The playoffs was 6 teams total. There's 6 teams competing. It started on May 22nd. It's going to run to June 8th. We've had more teams play in the past 24 hours in Counter-Strike than have played in like 4 weeks of League of Legends playoffs, right? They're literally devoting days to 3 games because it's just 3-0 sweeps.
But that's the same across all regions. That's not just LT.
No, every region runs its own way, right? So China has a lot more games. Korea will typically have a lot more. Every region has its own rules and its foundations around it. And to your point, like, the problem with North America LTA is it's not even North Americans that are good there. We've just imported Europeans.
That's true.
We put some silly rule in. I don't remember the exact specifics of it, where it was like it has to be at least 3 North American players, but if they've been here for X amount of time, then they count as a North American player. And so like Blippo, he's European, right? He came over, he's a star, but he counts as an NA talent now. So it's just, I don't know, it's just a bunch of stuff.
I would definitely say that one of the reasons that it is longer, though, is because of the other regions. Like, LCK takes longer to get through their stuff because they have more teams, and you have to wait for LTA to catch up to them. And so they do have to make LTA longer in order to catch up to LCK. And that might be a reason why it takes longer. Obviously, it'd be better if they had more teams, but I think part of that is the franchising dollar. Like, there's just not more teams to put in there,
just need to build excitement in the weekend, so have your teams compete more often. Right, have where you can devote a day to winners and losers bracket. You don't have one matchup on Saturday, one on Sunday. Wait a whole week, one on Saturday, one on Sunday.
Sounds like Nick's solution could help them a lot. Shorten up the season so they have to play some more matches and they don't just play every 4 weeks.
The method to my madness.
Hey, I don't know. It's interesting. I like the take. I think it's interesting, for sure. Good topic. Okay, let's go to the fun, exciting, where there will be a winner. A fun, exciting pick slash ban. We're going to pick some stuff. We're going to ban some stuff. We got an order here. It's going to be up on your screen. Ultimately, Kepley, you're going to get the first ban. Congratulations to you.
I'm getting the first ban. I was looking for the topics on the screen. I need to still. I'm going to ban. Hold
on, they're right there. There you go.
Oh, they're up there?
Good. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I'm going to ban.
Take your time. Don't have to rush. It's okay.
Who wants to talk about Apex Legends? Get that out of here.
No Apex Legends. The ban from Kepley coming out bans Apex. Okay, cool. Who's next? Sorry.
Next is Nick.
Nick, go ahead, Nick. What you got, buddy?
I don't want to talk about Asmongold.
Oh, come on, man. It's a good topic, dude.
Okay, Nick bans Asmongold. We're not talking about Asmongold and multi-streaming. We're not talking about Apex Legends. Okay, Davis, you get the first pick, man. Go ahead, introduce it for us.
We're talking about Phasmophobia film in development because I'm actually really excited for this. I think it's dope.
I thought he was about to say he was in it. I was like,
oh yeah, guys, tune in. Sorry, I'm looking down. I'm trying to find the exact.
Gave him time.
Oh, I forgot to write it down. No, Bloomhouse Films. Bloomhouse Films is the people that are developing it. So they've developed a lot of horror films in the past. They've developed
what?
Halloween, Paranormal Activity, Insidious, the Purge movies. So they have great films that they've made. And if you're any familiar with this game, I think it can be a really, really good horror film. So I'm excited to see it.
Point for Davis, so we're clear.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
For the record, I put this topic on this sheet.
I understand, but he picked it.
And he doesn't.
You're gonna ban it.
I got first pick.
I should have been first pick as the guest. No, but yeah, they're also trying to acquire Saw, the rights to Saw, and they made one of my favorite movies of all time, Whiplash, which is not a horror film. It's a music film.
Listen, I'm the horror game stuff. This one's a good one. This is a fun game. I've enjoyed playing it. I think it's going to be cool as a film.
You played it in VR?
Oh no, that would be too scary.
Yeah, that would be insane. Actually, I haven't done that.
That's
either.
next level, brother.
Next week.
Okay, Kepley, your pick.
I get to pick. So I'm going to talk about Valorant update on esports and replays. I know, like, it's a meme. It should have come a lot sooner, right? It's been like 5 years or whatever. But it's still cool that they have it now because this is part of your game evolving. This is how you get a little bit closer to maybe Counter-Strike. I think this is good news for all players involved. Replays are going to help teams across the board and being able to improve and VOD review and stuff like that. So just a bunch of dubs here.
Huh. Interesting. All right, next up, Nick, you get to pick, buddy.
I'm going to pick esports at Nigeria's National Sports Festival. I think it is amazing that a country is getting behind esports, and it'll only help grow esports not only in Nigeria, but across the world.
Let's go, Mongols.
That's it. It's the whole sell. Like, what more do you need to know? Esports growth, amazing, cool country stuff.
Okay, next up.
Oh, he hates
Davis banned.
You got negative points, buddy.
He hates
No points awarded.
I'm going to ban the Insomnia Gaming Festival, addressing relaunch backlash.
That's a good ban. That's a good ban right
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Who's next? Nick, pick.
We're going to go with NIP Group CEO discusses esports transformation.
Okay.
I think
of
we love NIP around these parts, and we love when people are open and honest about their business and their business decisions. If you haven't already watched it, go give it a watch. He talks everything about where esports is, where they're at, where they're planning on going. It's just a great overall watch, and I appreciate people being open and honest.
Point for Nick.
We're back, baby.
That was a pity point.
Yeah, it was after that last one.
Point.
That was a
And
pity
because
point.
I'm surprised he didn't take it because he loves Nip, right?
We all love
Well,
Nip.
yeah, that's why he should get negative points. He stole
Well, he
the
could have
other
picked it
top.
first. I got it. Okay. All right.
Nick isn't going to slip that far. Don't you worry.
No nip slips around here, dude. It's my
Don't
pick.
treat ninjas in pajamas like this, okay? Kepley, go ahead. And
My pick. Okay, we got 3 topics: FUT, Esports, Interest, Counter-Strike, Pokemon Go League Season 23 announced, PS State of Play.
You should take the Marvel fighting game from him.
I'm taking the Marvel fighting game. It was his clutch or kick. PS State of Play. This is where it was unveiled. He didn't even mention that, by the way, in his clutch or kick. You should deduct points for that. That it came from the PS State of Play. But overall, developed by the same guys that make Guilty Gear and Blaze Blue. We've already talked about this. But it's really cool. They're moving in a great direction. PlayStation is also part of this release. They've released now an official PlayStation fighting stick. For that, so they're really showing love for the fighting game community, so that will be useful across a multitude of games, including Rides 2 XKO, with this game and all other ones. So great news from PlayStation going all in on the fighting game. And this was their headliner for their State of Play, too.
Point for Kepley. All right,
what are you gonna
Davis,
end
last
with,
pick, buddy.
Pokemon Go's calling out to you.
Yeah, I'm gonna end with Pokemon Go just because I kind of feel like the FUT Esports is kind of boring for me. So I'm gonna go with Pokemon Go because I actually researched into this because I'm actually not familiar with Pokemon Go at all. So when I saw this topic, I looked into it, and the rewards actually look pretty cool. I mean, it looked like it's gonna be a good season, and to be honest with you, I didn't know that Pokemon Go was like as in depth as it is with like its rotating seasons and like just like a normal game would be. So I thought it was really cool, like learning about it. I don't think I'll be playing it, but I thought it was really cool to, see that was a thing. Straight up.
Pokemon Go is older than Davis.
Not
Season
true.
23.
Not
Not
true.
true.
Not
I
true.
remember when Pokemon Go came out.
No, the
Okay,
peak
Davis,
Pokemon Go.
I
is-
want to give you a point, but you said you researched it, but you didn't really say much about it. So tell me something that you learned while you researched it.
Well, I just really looked through their battle pass. Like I was saying, I didn't know that they even had like a battle pass thing. I thought you just got on. Like I actually did play Pokemon when it first came out on the iPhone, Pokemon Go, and you could like whatever throw the things. Like I said, I don't play it, so whatever.
You could throw the thing.
But it was not,
Pokeballs.
yeah, I'm not into that stuff.
That's a negative point for Davis. He gets a minus.
I'm trying to bring you down, buddy.
I'm giving the win to Nicholas over here. He gets it on this side.
He got negative points. It's like a UFC fight here.
Okay, I appreciated that he took the Nigeria Esports Festival because,
Didn't you give him negative points for that?
I mean, I know I did give him negative points for it because he did a terrible job explaining it, but at least he was bold enough to pick it. What games were at the Nigeria Esports Festival?
He doesn't know.
No. National Sports Festival. So they have other games. See, you don't even understand.
I don't know
the
what
topic.
it is. Exactly, yes.
They have like a
kinds of
national
sports.
sports festival where they play football, they play ping pong, they play whatever else they got. And esports, it's like saying that esports got added to the Olympics. But their country's Olympics, esports is now
Just
a
say that next time and I'll give you a point.
They're growing esports. That's what I said, and that's the key takeaway to this is that they're growing esports in their country and
Nick
recognizing it as a national sport.
I thought it was really cool too, listening to the woman talk, the woman that's behind the whole thing, leading it. I think it was really cool listening to her talk about how she sees the population of their country just rising to this and like participating. So
To be honest, France will be next. France will be the next.
Davis
to
gets half
recognize
the
it.
point for his comment as well, but Nick still wins.
Nice.
Okay, we're going to our last segment of the day. We're doing our Pickems.
I don't know the math, but I think I got last place. I think I was robbed.
Okay, cool. First, I'll go do my Pickems first. Go ahead, throw them up there. This is for the stage 1 of Counter-Strike that happened. Go to the top.
The 2-1 matches.
The 2-1 matches for
Yep.
all those. Okay, Nick, those are
Oh,
yours.
that's cool. I picked NRG Wildcard and FlyQuest.
Okay, so we have OG versus NRG on
Yep.
ours. FlyQuest is the same. Kepley, what are yours?
I think I did OG. Yeah, OG Wildcard FlyQuest.
And Davis?
OG Wildcard FlyQuest.
Oh, man.
Oh my gosh, a lot of FlyQuest, a lot of OG, a little bit of split.
I'm the only NRG believer.
I mean, okay, let me defend this first. I think Wildcard have played well. Okay, I think that they are a good team. I think they will make it out of stage 1. I don't think they're going to go further. I think BB is just a little bit better based off of passing the eye test. Obviously, these guys are a little bit unknown in general. It's the first time I really got a good look at them. But that's the only reason I picked them is because I think that that team has performed a little bit better than Wildcard.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I don't have much to say, but yeah, I think you made a good point there.
Okay.
Mine was mine.
I mean, it's just a good point. Like, what else are you gonna say? It was gonna be awkward silence. Yeah.
Mine was some American copium for energy.
Okay. Give us our next ones, Mr. Producer on the back end, so we can see them because it's a lot of words, and so I just throw them up there for major one. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Oh.
Lynn Vision. Interesting. Legacy has been better than we thought, for sure, for all of us. I think they were 0-3 in a lot of people's brackets, and I think Imperial has been better. And then the weird one up there is Complexity. The fact that actually this match has already happened in Complexity.
Same with Legacy Imperial match.
Yeah, exactly. So wild that we were split on that one. Nick, why did you pick Legacy over Imperial?
I think it's the storyline that you sold the other day, that they're getting this guest spot and they've actually got something to prove and show people that they're not there on a whim, that they deserve to be there the entire time, and they proved it, and they actually won that match in game 3, which was a great match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in that same boat. I mean, I think it's a little bit misleading how the whole thing is going down. Like, Bastia qualified and Legacy didn't. They were the team that got invited after.
Yep.
But Legacy's a much higher rated team
Than a lot of teams that
yeah,
are
like
too.
Legacy
Yeah.
is very good compared to a lot of teams that are in this stage.
Yeah.
So I definitely saw them at least making out.
Well, and then we're not going to gloss over this. I don't know if you were going to, but my beloved Complexity
Yeah.
has been eliminated at 1 and 3.
They're originally in my feed, but I wanted to talk about them here. But ultimately, like, Complexity, I think, let a lot of folks down.
Yeah.
I actually didn't have them going through. I had them in my 3-1, I think. But the Halzerk nerf was like a big deal to me. The fact that Halzerk is not there. Yeah, here's the graphic from this. But I mean, I had them making it through, but they obviously just got bounced. I did not have them losing in the way that they did. Specifically, they lost to Ty Looted.
The sad part is Junior wasn't their worst player.
Yeah.
However, I think yet again watching Complexity a lot over the past couple of months, the team did not operate the same without him. And like I said, Junior played well. Junior was the stand-in op, and when he was able to op, and when he was able to give it his time to shine, he almost had some crazy 4v1 clutches today and just missed out on the last kill. It was not the stand-in's fault.
I think it was like if you're playing in a major, you're getting everybody's best game, and you have a stand-in. It's really not looking to be very successful.
Well, I say that, like, Grim had to play for them, and Grim did not play well in any of these series for them at all, and that's one of the reasons they fell off. Yeah. I think Junior actually did have some nice highlight moments, but Grim did not do anything that he was supposed to. Can you throw up the office graphic for us real quick? I want to ask Davis a question about his picks. Davis, you have the 2 losers right. You got the 2 0-3 teams. So logic there, or just kind of random?
Anybody else get the 2 losers?
Did you?
Right?
Oh, you did too. I'm sorry, Nick. Yeah, I just saw Davis's, but yeah,
we'll let Davis talk.
How did that happen?
He's
What
the
the heck?
expert.
What in the world?
I mean, to be honest, they're just the worst ranked teams in the competition. I didn't see them matching up. I kind of looked back against their schedule, and anytime they played any good team, they got absolutely smashed. So, I mean, whenever you look at like these other teams that have made it, like Wildcard, B8's been a surprise for me for sure. But like a lot of these other teams, like you've seen them play some good teams, like some tier 1 teams, and like put up decent numbers. Maybe they're not getting smashed, but yeah, for me, I just didn't see it happening.
One last thing I want to say about Complexity. I swear we'll move on eventually, but Grim tried to play like Donk today, and it was so weird. He was just trying to be the entry. He top fragged, but he also top death. It was a crazy thing to see, and obviously a formula that didn't work out well for them.
I think your back's against the wall, like you're just trying to not get eliminated.
Yeah.
Right, because you let a lot of people down. I think that first initial loss against OG just
hurt hard.
Yeah, hurt their whole mindset coming into it because they got blasted, they got egoed, and they're in those those studio style setups where they're like directly yelling at each other. It's a strong mental battle.
They got blasted at the Blast Austin Major.
Yeah.
The puns play themselves.
I played myself. I mean, I didn't want to pick Complexity to go 3-0 on the graph, but I ended up, like, I was trying to do research for it, and I actually had B8 in that slot, like CJ, and I thought it was going to be Heroic and B8. And then I started looking online. Everybody's picking Complexity, and I was like, am I an idiot? Like do I want to look stupid? So I swapped it. I swapped it out. I put Complexity in there just to follow the herd, and I was wrong.
Shout out to CJ. Got the 2-3-0s correct.
I mean, B8 was lucky. Honestly, it was like that. I think it OG could have won there. I think FlyQuest looked good enough to win. Wildcard looked good enough to win. BB looked good enough to win. It's really hard. I mean, this whole stage 1 is very messy in the fact that, like, these teams, any of them can show up at any moment because they're so inconsistent.
And best of ones in the initial.
Yeah, best of ones are tough too. Yeah, agreed. But it's been fun to watch for sure. And we have stage 2 coming up, so we'll do our graphic and Pickems for the next week after this, so we'll get to see those.
Phase 3-0.
Stage 2 will be interesting when you
Stage
say
2 is going to be done before we have another queued up.
we'll have the graphic.
Oh, okay.
We'll be able to
Don't
talk
you-
about
Oh, the background.
Yeah,
I thought you were talking
internally.
about Pickems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for the office, we'll have it for sure.
Gotcha.
Okay, switching gears, going to our next topic.
LTA North.
It's LTA North, yeah. So if we go LTA North, go ahead. I'll give you my picks, which is I have FlyQuest and Team Liquid.
Clean sweep. Whoa, wait a minute.
One of
Hold
these
on.
things is not like the other.
Hold on.
You did what I wanted to do. I
Explain
didn't have the heart
yourself.
to do it.
Well, to be honest, I just couldn't jump off the train. I think the way that they performed last week against the 100 Thieves really showed me that they're a very good team. And I think they had a lot of doubters last week that thought that they wouldn't arrive in the moment, and they really did. And the fashion that they won, they just seemed so comfortable. You had the coach coming up before Game 3 saying that 100 T is a team of throwers, that all they need to do is control what they can control, and the game will come to them. So I think that shows that they're very confident in their own ability. And I think it will be a very, very tough task, but I think that they can do it. And I think with Yuji, especially like a young player entering Liquid, he's been kind of inconsistent for me. The thing with him is he tries to make hero plays. If you can set up moments to catch Yuji where he thinks he's in a moment where he's about to make a hero play, and you flip it, like happened multiple times last week, they could easily win this series and have some big advantages coming out of that jungle.
Yeah, but it's Team Liquid.
Yep, exactly.
I want to know. I want to know.
Chris said.
My heart is with you. My heart is 100% with you. I think Shopify do have the tools to get it done. I mean, you go back a few weeks and to a queued up episode, you'll see me battling Chris, right? The 100 Thieves isn't that good. Because I knew 100 Thieves wasn't that good. But Liquid, on the other hand, Liquid are 9-0 in games against Shopify. Now, that's inclusive of the games within the series. 9-0 in their last matchups. Shopify's never taken a game off of them. But Shopify does have all the steps that they need to do it. And a lot of people, I mean, we're glossing over. 4 people picked FlyQuest, but I think it would have been realistic for someone to pick C9.
Yeah, I was actually really shocked to see no one pick C9 because I think the last time they matched up, we had a majority of people on the C9 train.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are riding the hype of that.
I think it was split. I think it was
2-2.
a 50-50. But like, I like Cloud9 in the fact that they are a more structured team than FlyQuest is. FlyQuest is like, Flippo up top over there. We don't know what's going to happen. He might do something weird. And it normally works out for them. Like, they normally kind of peel it out and make it work. But maybe they don't this time. And obviously the fact that those guys have run up into each other before is like they have a lot of data and samples they can go back to and say, hey, what worked, what didn't work, let's try this again. I also think on the TL Shopify Rebellion side, it's like, yo, they'll just bench Yuji. Like, he might just not play. Like, if he does some stuff like he did against Dignitas and through that one game, like, they're going to sit him. And
It all depends.
I think that's a perfect scenario. Like then you got another team that's not worried about their game. They're trying to figure out how they can scrape away. Like they're not sitting here thinking, oh, this next game we're gonna be able to do this great. We just did this great this game. They're like, dude, we got to figure it out now. Throw this guy in. And I just think it could be turmoil.
Interesting. I don't know. We're going to find out this weekend as we watch some of those amazing League of Legends LTA matches. We're also going to look at the LEC, and I know Kepley's going to have some things to say about this. I picked KC and KC to go through. Nick, what you got?
Losers finals, grand finals, KC it up.
Hey, KC Kep.
Making that run.
I did KC and then finals G2.
Same for me. KC G2.
Oh, man.
How are you guys going to take KC to beat Koi and then not get revenge against G2 after they win that match?
So it is a real story. So if you look back at the winter, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
Where G2, it was actually G2 beat KC to send them down to losers finals. They make the run. They beat G2 3-1 in the finals. But this time, I just think G2 is a lot more put together. They have already qualified for MSI. So part of me did think that G2 is a team that will hold a strat in order to shine at international competition. So I do think there is a world where they just let off the gas for KC, let KC get the win, and then they hide what they want to do when they go into MSI and later EWC.
He's making our argument for us. Thanks.
But
for this.
but I am. But at the end of the day, right? Because that's our phrase here. G2 is just all around a better team. I'll never count Caps out, and I think that Caps alone could 1v5 KC if he's playing on his best day. So
I remember when we were watching First Stand,
Yeah.
And one of the things that Kepley was very adamant about, that Casey should not have been there, and it should have been G2 the whole time.
Yeah.
And I think that that's really interesting that you're kind of holding true to this G2 model.
Doubling down.
Where we've seen that KC is going to win this matchup. And it was a best of 5. It was close. It was a close game.
Now we
Close
got
series.
Fearless Draft, though.
Well, that was Fearless too.
Yeah, those
First
Fearless.
stand was?
Yeah.
No, not first stand.
Yeah, first stand was Fearless.
Oh no, you're talking the previous to qualify.
Yeah.
Yeah, to qualify, LEC Winter was not Fearless.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, G2's just, they look more complete right now. A lot of people counted them out. They thought that Fnatic would beat them. G2, I mean, Caps is always going to lock in when it needs to lock in. Now that they have qualified, you can take the gas off, but they've gotten to sit idle and they've gotten to watch Casey struggle against Koi, right? Because that's not a series that was close. That was a 5-game series, but G2, if I'm not mistaken, 3-0 or 3-1 KC to send them down to losers. I think final's going to be the same thing. It's going to be 3-0, 3-1.
For me, the one I want to look at, I think Caps, obviously, insane player, has the capability to do anything. And I think anybody's going to talk about Caps. But for me, it's the bot lane, Hansama and Labrab. They've been playing insane, especially against Fnatic. And I think going up against Kalista and Targamas, it's going to be a battle, but I think they're better. And I think they're just going to lead the team to a victory.
Yeah, I'm sensing, like we've already alluded to, the team from that got knocked to the lower bracket is going to get revenge, just like G2 did against Sentinels in Valorant.
That losers bracket run, you just get so much momentum.
So much momentum.
It's just such a confidence builder when you win those games.
Those extra games help sometimes.
They do. Yeah, you just learn a little bit more, get a little bit more reps, go. So that's why I'm a believer in the losers bracket.
Yeah, well, we're also assuming that KC even makes it to the finals. So, like, G2 is a staple there, but I mean, KC could lose to Koi. I mean, that's a very realistic.
Also true.
Yeah.
Also true. We don't think that.
But
But it's true. It's
Somebody
good
out there.
I don't think that, but Koi has
somebody in the
looked really
chat's
good.
gonna be
lately.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Koi's looked very good, and they went farther in the upper bracket.
did?
So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's definitely not unrealistic.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay, well, the other thing going on this weekend is Valorant. We didn't talk about it here today, but there are some Swiss matches. They're just for seeding. It's kind of, as we get into the Masters Toronto stuff, it's going to be very exciting. But we are going to cover that stuff and more on our Monday episode, so make sure you tune in next Monday. Like, comment, and subscribe. Go ahead, throw in the comments below. If you think that somebody else should have won the pick ban, let me know so that I can reevaluate my performance measures on that one. But thanks for joining us here today and Queued Up. It's been exciting, and we will see you on Monday where we talk about Valorant and all the other exciting esports from the weekend.
You should have won, David. You should have won.
Oh, that's